Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this special live stream on the full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in a place that we call Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. And this is a really potent time in the cosmic cycle, one of release and transformation and karmic rebalancing. So, we're going to dive into some Vedic astrology today and talk about the Ayurvedic impact on our mind and body, talk about some rituals to help us align with this powerful energy. So, what does this eclipse mean in Uttara Falguni? What is Saturn's influence and karmic lessons that are happening with this eclipse? What are some Ayurvedic insights to stay balanced? Full moon and eclipse rituals for release and renewal, and then any questions will come at the end. So this full moon happens in a place that we call Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. And there are three places around the system of star signs where there are early and latter signs. These happen at important junctures in the system of 27 star signs. But this is the first one where we have the early fruit, Purva Falguni Nakshatra, and then after that we have Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, the early fruit and the latter fruit. And this is symbolized by the front and back legs of a cot or a marriage bed. The early fruit, Purva Falguni, is like eating juicy, sweet, early strawberries. Everything is wonderful. And then the back legs of the bed, where this eclipse happens and this full moon happens, the first full moon eclipse since 2022, the first complete lunar eclipse. And this star sign governs soul contracts and dharma, our life purpose, partnerships and legacy. This is all about what contracts do we make. And so some of the karmic themes of this eclipse include completion and closure of old relationships, reassessment of commitments, personal and professional, spiritual growth through service and dharma, and lessons around generosity and fairness and power. So we can ask ourselves at the time of this eclipse, where in my life am I holding on to outdated relationships or beliefs that no longer serve my highest self? Saturn, whose name in Vedic astrology is Shani, and Saturn really is the karaka, the indicator for karma and for sorrow, and it aspects is this eclipse. So this intensifies the really karmic nature of this eclipse, and it demands accountability and discipline and patience. And so if we've been avoiding our responsibilities, this eclipse can bring really stark realizations, and it can feel heavy and restrictive and frustrating. But ultimately, Saturn does want us to grow. So if something is being cut away from your life, it's for the highest evolution, and resistance creates suffering and acceptance brings freedom. Saturn is always teaching us about equipoise, about equanimity. So we need to stay balanced through the eclipse, and the eclipse affects the different doshas, increasing the so-called negative aspects of the doshas. So Vata dosha, which is made of air and ether and rules over the nervous system, if we have a lot of Vata dosha in our constitution or in our imbalance in our body, then we'll experience increased anxiety and overthinking. During the eclipse, we might experience restlessness. If we have more Pitta dosha, which is like fire and water, we might experience irritability or frustration or just feeling on edge. Kapha dosha, which is like earth and water, will feel fatigue and heaviness and emotional stagnation. We really need to eat light sattvic foods, khichdi, warm soup, herbal teas during this eclipse. And we need to ground ourselves with meditation and pranayam and self-massage, warm oil, abhyanga. We need to practice silence during the eclipse, not talking too much to disperse energy. So we can journal. What do I need to release? What commitments feel aligned? This particular eclipse is all about aligning our commitments. Where are we going to stay committed? Where are our soul contracts? Are they appropriate for us? So don't eat heavier processed or stale foods. Ayurveda advises light diet on the eclipse, not full fasting, but a lighter diet. Don't make big decisions or start new projects at this eclipse. Eclipses bring distortions. We can't really see reality during an eclipse. So don't make a big decision during an eclipse. Also, be prepared for plot shifts. Be prepared for unexpected turns of events. Don't engage in heated arguments. Saturn's presence and aspect to this eclipse, it can make tempers rise. And so this is, what's happening during this eclipse. Some things we can journal on really are around relationships or habits or beliefs that we're really willing to release, stepping into our dharma with more clarity, karmic lessons that Saturn is teaching us. And we can work with a mantra for clarity, for removing karmic blocks, and sitting in stillness. Visualize releasing past burdens into the moonlight, into the full moonlight. We can simply inhale, let, and exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, and go. Or we can work with the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya to remove karmic blocks. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We can also write what we want to release and then burn it or tear it up as a symbol of letting go. So, the affirmation for this eclipse is I release what no longer serves me. I trust the universe to guide me towards my dharma. I surrender. I rise. So thank you so much. If you found this helpful, feel free to share, save, or join me for more deep dive sessions into Vedic wisdom. I'm wishing you clarity and peace on this powerful full moon eclipse.